Hello everyone. Hello. My name is Rich Golden.
And I'm Alex Golden.
And we're the Rakuten Golden Twins. So we are both developers here at Rakuten today, representing the DU, or Development Unit.
But before we get to the topic at hand, we'd like to tell you a little bit about ourselves. Now, even though our hairstyles are different, we have a lot in common.
We're both from New Jersey in America.
And we both came to Japan over 10 years ago as English teachers.
We both like working out at the Rakuten Fitness Club. And we both use BaaS. But Alex, what's BaaS?
So BaaS stands for Backend as a Service. But it's not just APIs, it's a combination of APIs and front-end SDKs. It's a total package that makes it easy for developers to harness the power of internal Rakuten systems.
Now, I developed for Kobo, which is a Canadian company acquired by Rakuten in 2011. Whereas Alex?
I work on the Room service, which is launched in Japan, and so far is mainly only in Japan. And they're two completely different systems, completely different services, even different companies at the beginning.
But both of our services use BaaS. So later on, our friend Sho, who made BaaS, we're talking about a technical description of how he made it and what's going on behind the scenes. But first, we'd like to talk about kind of like a general overview use cases of how our different services use BaaS.
Okay, so Rich, let's tell them about Kobo. Or why don't you tell them about Kobo?
Well, Kobo is Rakuten's ebooks, and an ebook is an electronic book you can read on any device. So for example, if I want to read One Piece, I can read it on my smartphone, I could read it on my desktop, I could read it on one of Kobo's amazing devices.
Now, don't you have a new device coming out? Maybe already launched in Canada?
Yes.
Coming to Japan soon?
Are you talking about the Kobo Aura H2O, the world's first waterproof, dustproof e-reader?
Yeah, I've heard about that. Sounds great.
It is pretty cool. It's going to be launched in Japan this year, so I'm really looking forward to that. But that's a brief introduction about Kobo. And Kobo and ebooks in general is very useful for me because I'm an English speaker living in Japan. If I want to read a book in English, that book may not be in a bookstore in Japan. But if I go to Kobo, I can download that English book and read it right now, and I don't have to wait. So that's really cool.
Okay, now let's bring it back to BaaS. Can you tell us how you use BaaS to deliver this great service to the people all around the world?
Okay, let me paint a beautiful picture for you. This is a Rakuten user. He wants to buy Kobo ebooks, but Kobo, this is Kobo. He needs some ID. He doesn't know who this user is. So Kobo says, I need to see some ID. The Rakuten user shows Kobo his Rakuten credentials. But Kobo doesn't know what to do with these credentials. So Kobo says, hold on a second, I need to talk with Mr. BaaS. Mr. BaaS is very cool. And Kobo asks BaaS, can I trust this guy? BaaS says yes. And so he can buy books, or he can log in to, this is Kobo's website, and he can log into Kobo just by selecting his Rakuten ID and then using his Rakuten credentials.
Yeah. And it might seem pretty simple to the user just to log in and use the service, but there is actually quite a bit going on behind the scenes.
And there's a more complex, a more interesting use case involves Rakuten Super Points. So as you know, Rakuten Super Points is a loyalty program across all of Rakuten services. And you can earn 1% cash back or 1% in Super Points back that you can use anywhere within the Rakuten ecosystem. So,
yeah, and these Super Points are not managed by Kobo, obviously. They're not called Kobo Super Points.
No, they're Rakuten Super Points.
Okay.
So, when you go to Kobo's website and you're going to buy a book, you can see down here, if I want to buy this book, you will earn 10 Super Points. Not only can you earn Super Points using Kobo's, by purchasing ebooks through Kobo's system, you can also use or apply your current Super Points towards purchases through Kobo. So here we can display how many Super Points you have how many super points you can use or apply to this purchase. And again, this is something like very, it needs to be very secure because we're dealing with super points, and that's something very important to Rakuten. But I think it's very cool, thanks to BaaS, that it's easy for Kobo to integrate and use these super points in their system.
Okay.
And
I got it.
okay. Now, that's as Kobo as an external company, but you're developing Room,
yes,
which is an internal project here. Would
yes,
you like to tell me more about that?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Room. So Room is a new service we just launched this summer, and basically it's a combination of a social network and a user curation site. So we connect Rakuten users to Rakuten services, and also Rakuten users to each other. So right now, we're mainly connected or only connected to the Japanese marketplace or the Japanese Ichiba. Here's a standard use case. You're a user browsing the Ichiba and you see a really cool item, like this Kirk Hammett signature Flying V guitar. And you want to share this with everybody. So you scroll down and you find that Kore button. That's Japanese, and an English translation might be this. So you see this item and you think, yeah, I want this. So you click the this button, or you click the Kore button, and then it's added to your room. Now your room is publicly available and anyone can see it. And the really cool thing is that if someone sees this awesome item in your room and then they buy it, you can earn Rakuten Super Points, or affiliate points. And this is actually a screen capture from my own personal history, and I made over 200 Super Points just a few days after we launched it. I was so happy about that. And even you can get Super Points too if you sign up for Room and just collect some items. So
what Room lets you do is it lets anyone set up a shop on the Ichiba, even if you're not selling goods yourself. Because you're curating the goods, because you're doing the advertisement to get traffic to your room, you earn the affiliate points for anything sold from your room.
Yes. And now you might think, Kobo was originally a Canadian company, completely separate from Rakuten. So maybe, why does Room need to use so many BaaS backend as a service? I'll tell you why. Because even within Rakuten, there's so many different systems, and I'm going to explain about some of those Room uses. So first, we use login again. So you log in using your Rakuten ID, not your Room ID. And we also have access to the item search API. So if you want to add an item to Room, as Room developers, we don't know anything about all the items Ichiba has, but they have quite a few. So we just call it BaaS in their service, and then we can get a list of items you're looking for. In this case, I look for beer. And yeah. Also, we have access to your favorite items that you marked on the Ichiba. There's some more beer there. And also, we have access to your purchase history. Items you purchased, you can find them really easily on Room and then add them to your room. So, and maybe one of the biggest features for us, and I think one of the most popular ones for BaaS, is push notifications. So, for developers here, I think everybody knows what push notification is, but they can be pretty tricky to handle, especially on the back end or dealing with multiple devices, such as Android and iOS devices and things like that. And BaaS takes care of most of the difficult things for us. So
BaaS is such a great system, and I heard, do you know the person who made it?
Yeah, actually I do. He's standing right over there. His name is Sho Kawahara, and he's going to take us behind the scenes and explain some more technical details about BaaS.
Okay, so let's give it up for Sho.
Thank you, Korean brothers. Thank you for great manzai. Okay. So let's get started my part. I'm Sho Kawahara. In this company, I'm involved in the API development. I love API. So when I had entered this company, I requested to human resource to develop the API. Then I'm in here. So I'm using several languages. So sometimes I'm confused in this company. So my hobby is long distance walk. I'm walking to Sendai from Tokyo. It's not one day, some days walking to the Kashima station and go back to my home. Of course, that's train. And another day, go to the Kashima station by train and walking 8 days. Then I walk to the up to the Nashioba. It's north of the Tochigi prefecture. Yeah, it's my hobby. Anyway, I try to start main topic about a Rakuten BaaS platform. I took about a BaaS factory. What is a BaaS? This is a BaaS. This is a BaaS term. It's difficult to pronounce for Japanese. I'd like to talk about BaaS, BaaS. When I am a childhood, everyone reading the book inside the BaaS. But nowadays, everyone using a smartphone. So service company need to make a native application very fast. So time is changing to make a smart device application. So BaaS stands for backend as a service for mobile application and rich web applications. Why do we need BaaS platform? Before that, I need to talk about Rakuten BaaS, Rakuten background. As you know, we are handling too many business on the internet, like e-commerce, travel, finance, golf club reservation, affiliate. And we have too many corporate companies, include subsidiary companies, like Kobo. Yeah. And each recommend department is releasing 100 more mobile applications for Android, iOS, and Windows. And then we have many data source type and format. It's a big problem for us. For example, some department is providing data by XML format with EUCJP encoding. Do you know EUCJP encoding? EUCJP can describe the Japanese, but smart device supporting the EUCJP and UTF-8 format, so it's difficult to use EUCJP encoding format. Some of the department is providing data by JSON, and another company is providing data by SOAP. I think SOAP is a little bit old format, but it's a very famous format on the B2B connection. Then mobile developer think about format things and encoding things. It's difficult to implement the mobile application in this situation. And basically, mobile application development team is divided to the many departments. We have many development like a Kobo and a Bloom, like a Golden Brothers. So sometimes this department making a push notification feature. Another department making push notification feature. It's a big event the whole. It's a very bad thing to make a synergy as one company. Backend as a service is a platform model to resolve these issues. And firstly, we need to make an API platform to convert correct data format. Correct data format means for the mobile development. And XML data and EUCJP is changing to the JSON or Excel format with the UTF-8. And change to the difficult format to the common format. And some of the data cannot leak to the outside. So our API platform need to filter the data, and of course need to cache the data to accelerate the mobile application. also, we want to resolve the mobile-specific issue like user authorization, push notification, and today, previous session talking about the geolocation. So, and there's several things. And the platformer should provide an SDK to speed up mobile development. Thanks to BaaS platform, we can speed up mobile development as a company. It's very important thing. And we can provide the synergy. For example, one department deploys the API to the API platform, another department using same feature. So nowadays, the travel department using Ichiba's data because we have a common API platform. So we can prevent the event of the volume issue. So on the internet, there are several public BaaS technology. So I'd like to describe, share the public BaaS technologies. And Pascom is, I think it's a public subsidiary company of the Facebook. It's providing the very powerful BaaS platform. They are providing the data storage and push notification and so on. And Windows Azure also providing the mobile specific feature. So, and they are providing the Windows specific feature like C# library. Flashmatics, it's a very specific, providing a very specific feature. When user's mobile phone is crashed by your application, this one reporting to the your mail or you are reporting to. RPG is one of the public API platform to aggregate another API to the one API. And in Japan, there are several BaaS platforms. So it's very important to make a BaaS in the world and Japan. Nifty Cloud mobile backend and Key Cloud is providing very good BaaS platform. So I have demo to use BaaS platform to understand the BaaS.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
This is demo for our BaaS system, right?
Actually, it's difficult to see the screen. So, great. So this one set up to use a pass and just input the credential information. And also this application loading the database on the Pascom and list up the items. A very simple code, as you may know. And list up the meal, udon and soba, and type of the noodle. And the PaaS have a very powerful dashboard. So I can go to the BaaS dashboard and just modify the data. That's all. So this data is updated. So it's very simple code, but we can use very powerful platform. But there are too many powerful BaaS platform on the internet. But we made private BaaS platform in this company. Why? The main reason is almost data source is inside a firewall. So, and actually this product we made since 2009. So there is a several several enterprise products to use on-premise. But it's 2009. It's not mainstream to use a BaaS. So that is the main reason. Okay, finally, I will introduce about the Rakuten BaaS family. And it is about Rakuten BaaS family. Firstly, it's a most famous platform in this company. I think it's an API platform. And the user also, it has a user authorization system, and it's based on the OAuth 2.0 protocol. And it's also making the access control feature by the OAuth 2.0 protocol. So basically, Kobo development team cannot access to the Ichiba's data, but we can allow we can change the permission by the API platform. And we have a feature to convert the data because we have too many data formats inside, especially the Japanese text. And filtering the data to prevent the leaking, and data caching to accelerate the mobile acceleration, and analyzing feature because the marketing people want to check the API access and effect. And also second one is a script engine. This API platform is good to describe about our API platform can describe the each resources. But it's difficult to mix in the data. In this case, mobile application accessing the too many times, so the mobile displaying speed becomes slow. It's very bad situation for the mobile application. So there is a script engine. It's a very funny platform. So it's difficult to talk. So I'd like to talk with a demo. Script engine can make our own API. So this script is responding This script is responding the empty data, saving it, and save to the Rakuten script engine, and run this script. So then this API responds the empty data. I can change anytime. Response hello world. And save it. And this API response hello world now. Another use case, everyone can make a API. Another use case. This script calling the 2 times and calling the Ichiba API and filter by the udon and soba and calling the parallel. So I want to mix in the two API call to one API. Saving it and run script. Then two API response is mixing to the one API response. So I can change this code every time. So I want to add one API code more. keyword is test. Not run. Yes. Then new data is added to the API response. So this script engine can make new API very easily. So under this script engine, of course, making a cache. So mobile application can accelerate by this script engine. Third one, push notification platform is a very famous platform in our team, and there are three companies to provide a push notification feature: Google, Apple, and Windows Phone. So it's a little bit difficult to handle the three company things. So our platform can support it, and we have a BaaS. We have a queuing server to send a push notification. It's good for the customers because we can control the number of push notifications. And sometimes our company is sending too many email advertisements. But this platform can reduce the number of the notifications. Like this user already sent 1 or 2 times in the 1 day. So don't send more push advertisement push notification. So no more too many email advertisements. And we are providing the ID Connect. This one can aggregate the Rakuten ID and another social network service ID, and like Rakuten and Facebook. And to use these services, we are providing the SDK for the iOS and Android. And for example, this Android case can implement a push notification feature. Just edit the Android manifest XML file. Then push notification had implemented. And this SDK can store the access token very securely. So no more raw data in the Rakuten application. Finally, we are planning to make a more platform for the mobile developer, like a geolocation feature. In Shibuya, you can get Shibuya related information like that. And we want to provide a data storage and user voice storage. It can collect users' review, because the Apple Store and iTunes Store and the Play Store users' review is not enough. So I want to collect the user's voice more flexible. So yes, it's just planning phase. So I want to make a more powerful platform. So we wanted the API gigs and the mobile gigs, and go to this page. You can get our hiring information. Thank you very much.
I think we have time for some questions. If anybody has any questions for Sho or Golden Twins.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the advantage of using Rakuten's push notification service over using a third party like Urban Airship?
Different things is our push notification system is connecting to the Rakuten database. So we can segment based on the Rakuten database. It's a most different point, I think.
Yeah. I know the other answer.
You don't have to.
Cost.
Any other questions? Doesn't have to be technical, it could be about Kobo or the room service or anything like that.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
What time does the beer bash start?
I think it starts 6:30 upstairs on the so you have to wait just a little bit longer.
I have a question about the room service.
Mm-hmm.
And in the demo, so you said that the room is like a creation service or something like a creation service. So, but in Rakuten Ichiba, you have a lot of retail sellers, and also the multiple retail seller selling the same product.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think you have to connect the information about not only about the product but also the retail. So it seems like you are going to represent the retail shop, not only the product or
Mm-hmm.
something like a gadget.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the difference? So what is the difference between representing or I'm saying that promoting the product or retail shop on the room service?
So for room, we're promoting the product. And some products, even the same product, are, like you said, sold by different merchants on the marketplace. But when you're just looking at the room screen, it's only information about the product. It's not information about the shop that's actually selling it. Now, when you, maybe the picture, one thing is we use the picture that's registered from the marketplace as the default picture when you collect a room. So maybe like, for example, if one merchant has a more effective picture than the other one, then that could be something that's changed based on the merchant. But basically, room is promoting the product now, not the merchant or shop.
Okay, so that means that the source of the funding, source of the Rakuten Supercom is not from the retail seller, but from the Rakuten by itself, is it?
I'm sorry, I don't know if I can answer that or not, but I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But anything else? So nothing else. I guess that's it.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming.
And